What's going on, everybody? I wanted to check in a little bit on DNF Duels. A lot of people have been talking about how the game is dying or the game is dead, and I think there's actually a couple of like legit things that people have posted or pointed out. So for example, for me, one of the biggest things is definitely no Evo announcements for the game, which I think is pretty big. And it wasn't a main game at Evo, which also kind of sucks for it. It was a side game, even though it was a brand new game. It also had a patch pretty recently. I guess at this point it was like 2 or 3 weeks ago. But for most people, at least from the reactions I've seen on Twitter, and I've watched a couple videos on it too, it didn't feel like the patch made a very big impact. So from my perspective, it felt like, so for me, it reminded me of a very early Guilty Gear Strive patch. I wanted to say before the October Guilty Gear Strive patch, there was also a very small patch in like August or something. That's what this DNF patch seemed to be like. And then like the last thing is, this is an IP based game, you know, so DNF Duel is based off Dungeon Fighter Online. Apparently the game, the MMO of the most players like ever, like a Korean game. However, it is a weak Western IP. It's kind of like Grand Blue. So Grand Blue Fantasy Versus, when it was announced, it's like a huge deal in its main market, which is Japan, but for regions outside of Japan, it's kind of like whatever unless you're into it, right? So basically, I mean, whether or not you think it's like alive or dead, personally, especially if you enjoy the game, and I don't think I need to like tell you this really, but this is more for people who are like, game's dead, game's dead, game's dead. Like, as long as people are playing, the game is not dead. So like, if you enjoy and play the game, like, just play it. You made the choice to play it. It's a game you enjoy. It's fine. The game has great netcode. Been in this position a couple times. Sometimes people are just like, yeah, your game's dead. I'm like, well, right now I'm just playing this. Like, this is just the game I like. I'm just gonna keep on playing it. The netcode, like I said, is really good, and the community is dedicated. There's still plenty of tournaments for it too. If you're into that, there's still people streaming the game. So as long as like there are people on the game, literally, then the game is alive. The best thing I think that could be done from a developer standpoint, because there's not really much the community can do, right? Besides like promote the game on their own. Again, like there's tournaments and stuff, there's streams, YouTube content, all that stuff. Without new content coming to the game, it's gonna be a struggle for sure. So it's also on the devs a little bit, right? I tried looking for a roadmap for the game. I couldn't really find one. I thought they announced that they were going to do some type of DLC for the game, but I don't remember where I heard that. So whoops. So the best immediate thing they could do is either release a roadmap so we know what's coming. So for example, Guilty Gear Strive has a roadmap, so we know that the next character is coming out in like October. Crossplay testing is supposed to be now-ish, but they said mid-September, but then they said fall, we don't know. And then there's supposed to be a patch in winter, but I'm not expecting it to be like a big patch because Arc Revo is still going to be going on. There's still going to be like 2 more tournaments left in the tour at that time, so I'm not expecting it to be like a big one. And then there's supposed to be another character. We basically know what is coming and when it's coming, so we're not left in the dark. So a roadmap will really help for DNF, or they could just randomly announce a character. And to be honest, the game, not DNF, DFO, has a bunch of dope characters. I had the same sadness with this game as with Grand Blue. So Grand Blue, I played the entirety of Season 1. So like the first like 6-7 months of the game, playing really hardcore. Compared to DNF, where like I didn't play it like super hard. Not a game for me. But what both have in common is that they both have dope characters. There's so many dope characters in DFO that they could put in this game. Like Female Slayer, that's what a lot of people are saying they need to add to the game. Would love to see that. Her character design is dope. Just that would bring some juice back to the game. On a lesser scale, a more impactful big patch would help as well. But as I just dropped this patch, I personally, just in my experience, I would not expect another patch for minimum like 3 or 4 months. Especially because this game is on the Arc Revo World Tour, so the people who are competing, they're not going to want a lot of patches going on while this World Tour is going on. It really kind of screws things up, especially because it takes a while to develop a character in a fighting game. Even if the game is easy, it can take a while to build nuance. So I know people who are competing probably don't want a huge patch outside of maybe like nerfing the things they don't like. But yeah, overall, I would say just like don't dig too deep in the this character or this game is dead discussion, or this game is super whack discussion. Like, just play the games that you like. If you like this game, cool. If you don't like it, also cool. A long time ago, I used to I mean, I think people still do it today. where people are like, this game's dead, or this game's trash, or blah, blah, blah. And one of the reasons why I didn't play Guilty Gear in the past, so like when I started, Guilty Gear Accent Core was the main Guilty Gear game. But I was playing Melty Blood, and it used to drive me nuts, absolutely nuts, that people would talk shit about Melty Blood, my favorite fighting game, right? People just talk like, oh, this game's trash, this game's for babies, it's so easy, anyone can win Melty Blood, blah, blah, blah. I used to get so mad about it. And it's literally one of the reasons I did not play Guilty Gear Accent Core. I was like, dude, like, fuck these people. All they do is talk shit about every game. They talk shit about Smash. I was a Melee player and Brawl player also. Talk shit about Melty Blood, just talk shit about every game. I don't want to play games with these guys. But then, a couple years later, down the line, I want to say this is while I was playing Persona 4 Arena. They had fighting games at Apex. And at this point, Skullgirls is a new game, like a brand new game. And Skullgirls had its own room. And there's like, I want to say maybe like 20, 30 people playing in this room. But the room is really big. So there's a corner of the room that's just empty. And then on the other corner, there's people just playing Skullgirls, right? So I go in this room. I'm pretty sure I did not delete this tweet, by the way. But I go in this room and I go to the empty corner and I take a picture of the empty corner and I go, rip Skullgirls, post it on Twitter, laughs abound, rip Skullgirls, right? And then Skullgirls players, they're like, dude, like, what the fuck, man? Like, we're just playing a game we like why are you talking shit about our game, blah, blah. And I actually, like, I felt so bad, like, I was like, dude, I'm doing exactly what the Accent Core players did to me that I fucking hated. That, like, honestly, that they're just talking shit. From that point on, I kind of just like kept my opinion to myself like that. Like if you asked me, hey, do you like Skullgirls? I'd be like, oh, not really. It's not for me. Maybe if we're like in a social setting, I'll make it like funny. I don't like take punches at games I don't like or I'm not enjoying or not playing. So if you're in DNF, cool. If you're not into DNF, but you don't like the game or you think the game's dying or whatever, honestly, just keep that to yourself. The game does not need that right now. They need some developer support, some more besides just tournaments. And you don't want someone talking shit about your game. Like if you're like, let's say a Them's Fighting Herds player, right? And you're talking shit about DNF, saying DNF's dead or the game sucks or whatever. Like it would be really easy to come at your game, right? So let's just not do that. So hopefully they announce something for DNF soon. Like I said, I think it's a cool looking game and I think it's a fun game to watch in tournament, and I just hope for the best for them. They have until what, March or so, because it's on the Arc Rebel Tour, so hopefully they should have some announcements there. As usual, if you guys have any questions, comments, feel free to leave them in the comment section below. Like and subscribe if you guys feel like it, and we'll see y'all next time.